Salams, guys! It's day 64 of being a boy, and I've decided to convert to Islam. I have many reasons for this, and none of them include my thing for Arab boys. And I didn't do this to try and get more privilege as a boy, just so you know, because oil billionaires are actually really oppressed. Tumblr told me so. It's not a fetish, and even if it were, it's like a compliment. So, yeah. You think on that before you start calling me a racist. Besides, this is a genuine wish to revert, because I've been studying all about Islam and learning how progressive it is, because they were practicing polyamory centuries ago, and I've discovered I can have 4 wives in my polycule, so that'll be pretty cool. So that's Dylan, myself in girl mode, who else? 2 spaces spare, so yeah, slide in my DMs if you're interested, ladies. Now, some people have been saying, like, well, isn't Islam against the LGBTQIA plus community? And actually, no. It depends on the denomination, but in Iran, they're all supportive of transgender people. They're still not supportive of homosexuals, but you know what? It serves the lesbians and gays right. We, like, got them all their rights anyway. You won't see that in the history books, because all the revisionism. Because they wrote us out of the history books, and now they say that it was a lesbian who threw the first brick at Stonewall, which is a lie, because lesbians are just made up to scare trans women. Not real. And if I ever get invited to an old school reunion at Gordonston, then I can just tie my scarf like this, and I'm in girl mode again. I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure I'll have to have a read of the Quran. I haven't read it yet, but I'm sure there's a bit in it that justifies this. If not, then it should. I'll translate it so that it does. I'm not sure if this means I have to keep halal now. I think it does, but, like, chips are halal, right? Great. I'm gonna go get some chips. Love ya!